Hey, y'all. It's your girl, Candy J. It's your favorite certified clinical sexologist, relationship and intimacy coach, premarital marital counselor, wedding officiant, mocha marriage facilitator, marriage boot camp coach, sex educator, sex counselor for ages, all of them. But y'all know if you've been here before, you know my sweet spot for sex education is definitely middle school to young adults. um but honestly, lately my biggest clients have been um age 40 to 60 when it comes to sex education. And a lot of it has been African Americans who were not taught anything about their body, or were shamed about it, or all kinds of things, guys. So, I am definitely in the business of healing, transformation, um, and restoration. And so today I am talking about marriages, okay? And I am specifically talking about what happens in an argument, a disagreement per se. It's something that we call flooding. Now, if you've been here before, you know that I've been trained by the Gottman Institute, and so I incorporate a lot of those philosophies in my counseling practice, right? And so, if you've ever heard of the Sound Relationship House, if you do an assessment, it can tell you a whole bunch of different things about what's happening in your relationship and the dissatisfaction and the satisfaction of things. But it goes into meta emotions, sexual abuse, love languages, building maps, all kinds of different things. If you've never taken the assessment, definitely something that I have available. But flooding is one set of emotions where it kind of becomes so adverse, and so prominent that it takes over your whole emotional world of that particular person. So let's just say we're in the middle of talking about something, we're having a disagreement, and your partner is being negative, right? And you're kind of like shell shocked by your partners expressing their negative emotions and their reactions to things. So it makes you feel, flooding makes you feel overwhelmed, and it makes you feel like everything is coming out of nowhere. And if you're a person that gets flooded, you just want to do anything to just make it stop. Okay. And so, I would say, like, the perpetual disorganization caused by flooding, it just renders you vulnerable to have hair trigger reactivity, to kind of intensifying the conviction that you'll get nowhere with your partner. So when you think you're going to get nowhere with your partner, what do? You run. It's that fight, flight, or freeze syndrome, right? And it's actually called escape conditioning, and it's like the second most powerful form of conditioning in the world. And so, when something is painful and we don't want to deal with it, we tend to run away from it and avoid it, right? And the biggest avoidance, right? We just run away, um, run out the house. How many times have you been in an argument with your partner and they just leave the house, or they go in another room, or they just um they go jump in their car, whatever it is, they run away instead of dealing with whatever you're talking about, right? And so, to kind of take a break from all of this, if you've ever been to my lives, I talk about pause all the time. You need some type of withdrawal ritual, definitely, but you need a healthy one, okay? So, um when you use the pause technique, it becomes a healthy situation of avoidance, even though we don't want to call it avoidance, right? Because we are actually going to come back and deal with the issue. But pause allows for us to have a healthy withdrawal ritual. And that withdrawal ritual usually should be over 20 minutes. I usually give people to make it a pause ritual with your person, you can get 20 minutes to up to 24 hours. I never want you to go up to the 24 hours, not even close to it. But if we need to come a little close to it, we can talk about it and work it out, because it's a compromise of how long you're pausing this situation. And though this live is not about pause, I've taught the pause technique a couple of times. Go back and watch the videos, guys, because it's very, very an effective tool to use when you're in an argument with someone, right? With your significant other, and sometimes even friends need a pause technique, because we can be flooded by our friends too. If you have that type of relationship with someone and it gets intense, and you're avoiding the situation by that escape conditioning, right? You push past it and you move on and you run away, and then you kind of never deal with the issue. But going back to marriages, right? When we talk about male and female marriages, heterosexual marriages, or even gay, male and male, female and female, you want to think about the physiological things of a male and a female, because spouses need to learn to restore the calm by self-soothing. The antidote to flooding is self-soothing, and or soothing period, because that soothing can be done by your partner. So you need to minimize the stressful interaction between you guys, so that your marriage becomes a port instead of a storm, which is the source of flooding. I'm sorry, instead of the source of flooding, right? So did you know that if men are given the chance to retaliate, they can calm down faster than women if we're just told to calm down, but not necessarily using those words, because I know that telling me to calm down can be a trigger, right? And I know that many other women it's that way. But if you are giving me a technique to calm down, grounding techniques that I've talked about on lives many times, counting down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, very slowly, breathing exercises, all of those things. Women are easier to do it's easier for us to do those things because in our brain it's neurological. In For the men, their blood pressure goes down when they're given the ability to, like I said, retaliate. But the male ability to self-soothe is critical for marriages to survive. Okay, and so I want to point this out because they have done several different studies, right? And women's blood pressure, it goes up when you're given a chance to retaliate. So think about, bust the windows out your car. Like, our blood pressure goes up, we angry, we gonna do all kinds of things. But men, if you're given a chance to fight, all of that goes down for them. Well, we want to do healthy things, right? So here's 5 things that you can do, guys. You can use humor, okay, to de-escalate the situation and crack a joke, what about things, and this could be even after the pause or during the argument, right? Use affection, especially if your significant partner's love language is physical touch, like sometimes just a hand on their shoulder, a tap on their back, a graze of the thigh, right, can allow that person to calm down. A kiss. It just depends on the type of person. And we're talking about male or female, right? Showing active interest. Okay. So getting into that conversation, right? Making sure that you're being attentive, eye contact. And then there's because eye contact is nonverbal. Make sure that you're tracking the speaking. One of the worst things that you can do is be on your phone. You're not really listening, right? Unless you're a multitasker, right? But that person has to know that about you, that even though I'm on my phone or I'm doing something else, that I'm actually listening to you, right? And then the 5th thing is just simply de-escalating the conflict. And because a lot of times if you have been with that partner for a while, you know what to do to de-escalate the situation sometimes. I'm talking about people that have been together for a very long time, 5 years, 10 years, sometimes even just a couple of years. You just know what to do to de-escalate that, whether that be just bringing a piece of food and a love offering and going, here, can we talk? Can we calm down? Like, so again, those 5 things that you can do are humor, affection, showing active interest, nonverbal things like just tracking the speaker and giving them their undivided attention, and then simply doing what you know to do in the relationship to de-escalate the conflict. Okay, so guys, this was about flooding. I know I gave you a lot of stuff in a very short time. It's like 10 minutes. Come back for more mental health tips. Come back for more sex education tips, marriage tips, wedding stuff going on, anxiety, all of those things. Remember to like, ring that bell, and subscribe, and share with somebody that this is going to help, guys. Again, this has been your girl Candy J, your favorite certified clinical sexologist and counselor. Have a great day.